the UK government have effected a lot of changes to legal migrations. And one of those that was heavily in the news last year was the fact that if you're coming to work as a care assistant, as a senior care assistant, you will not be able to bring dependents. And that news was everywhere. It was everywhere. There was a lot of buhaha about it. People were like, how? How would you ask me to abandon my family and then come and work for your people? They came out with a fact sheet. The Home Office have a fact sheet where they have written exactly, explain in details everything that is going to be happening with the care assistant and senior carers coming to work in the UK, as well as those that are already living in the UK. But people are still very much confused, and that is why I've come today to explain every bit of these things in the fact sheet so that we will understand better. If you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Chidinma. Consider subscribing to the channel because here we talk about nursing vlogs, lifestyle, everything happening in the UK. We talk about it in this channel. And for my returning subscribers, thank you as always for coming back to watch these videos. Without wasting time, let's get right into it. So if you're already planning to come to the UK, you know that the care assistants for the shortage occupation list, their code is code 6145 and code 6146. The first thing that the UK Home Office, I'll be sharing it on the screen so that you too can directly read on the screen. The first thing that the Home Office has said is that care workers SOC code 6145 and senior care workers SOC code 6146 already in the route will be able to remain with their dependents, including extending, changing employer within these SOC codes and settlements. That basically means that if you are already in the UK, if you are already in this route, or you already have your visa but you haven't even come in, because the changes are going to take effect from spring, which is towards the end of March and April and May and all that. If you already have your visa but you're not yet in the UK, you're already in the route. If you're already living in the UK, you're already in the route. What this means that so long as you are still that care worker on these shortage occupation codes, you'll be able to be with your dependents in the UK, settle in the UK, change employer in the UK. When they say settle, it means up to permanent residency, settle in the UK. You don't have an issue, or you don't have an issue. It doesn't affect you. These new rules of dependence, this Dependent Act does not affect you. Second point here is where a care worker or senior care workers is in the route before the immigration rule changes but has not yet brought dependents, they will be allowed to bring dependents during their sponsorship on this visa. If you're already on the route, like I said earlier, you're already in the UK, you have your visa before this changes take effect in spring, but you have not been able to bring in your dependent, you can still bring dependent. Reason being that you already have your visa before these rules came in place, so you can still bring your dependent. You don't have to go out there sourcing for fund, book flights and all of those things. Take your time, gather the money, get the apartment they need, put things in place for them so that you have a good start when they come over, because I know these things can be overwhelming and people are under pressure. People are tense as to what's going to happen next. That is why these fact sheets are there in the Home Office website for you to have a look at. So don't panic. Take your time and bring in your dependents. That's that. The third point which they have brought out here is individuals who are in the UK on any other route, including where that route permits dependents who switch into the care visa as a care worker or senior care worker after this date, will not be able to stay with or bring over dependents. What this means is that if you are in the UK already, or you have your visa already but not as a care worker, that's care assistant and senior care assistant, and now you change your mind, you want to switch employers, you want to switch your visa from maybe working as an accountant or project manager or whatever to being a care assistant. Once this rule takes effect, you will not even be able to stay with your dependents in the UK. despite the fact they're already in the UK. You cannot keep them and you cannot bring over. Switch visas wisely. Make sure before you switch, you have all the information you need, because they are not joking about this. If you make that mistake and switch your visa because you're already in the UK during spring, when this rule must have come into effect, you're done for. So be careful on that. If you're already in the UK and thinking switching, switch before spring, so that you still be able to remain with your dependents or be able to bring over your dependents, if that makes sense. And the last one for this visa route and the changes they've made is care providers who were sponsoring workers in exclusively non-regulated activities and therefore not required to be registered with the CQC before the rule changes should be able to continue to sponsor these workers, including for extensions to their visa on those terms, but not hire new one. This means that if you come into the UK maybe as a domiciliary care for a company that is not regulated with the CQC, living support, living carer, whatever you want to call it, but is a private-based business and is not regulated by the CQC. CQC is Care Quality Commission, and you're already in the UK. You will be able to do what? Remain. You will be able to renew your visa with the same employer, extend your visa with the same employer, but your employer can no longer bring in new ones except they go and complete registration with the CQC. This is it, guys. It's just clear and straightforward to the point. And I hope that I've brought enough clarity on this, because questions keep coming, calls keep coming with regards to this. If you still are very confused about what I've just explained, talk to me in the comment section and I'll do well to reply you. Anything you're doing, put it at the back of your mind that spring is when this whole thing will be coming into effect. If you're already in the UK, don't panic. And if you're outside the UK and you've got your visa before spring, don't also panic. You can as well bring your family. I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, like this video. Please, guys, like the video so that YouTube can recommend it to as many as are searching for these topics for clarity. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.